Alright guys, welcome back, and in case you didn't know, dropshipping sucks. And here is why. So inspired by Jake Tran's video on how dropshipping is a terrible business, I've decided to make one of my own, just with a bit more hands-on information, as Jake skipped out on a lot of important aspects and, to my understanding, had never dropshipped himself. Right out of the gate, I have to say that dropshipping is not dead, it's actually thriving, and that the dead shipping video is very one-sided, as he only describes what's known as Shopify dropshipping and completely skips out on eBay, Amazon, and other platforms. For example, Facebook Marketplace dropshipping seems to be all the rage right now. It's the new thing, and there are already case studies online of people making over $20,000 in sales per month. Also, at this moment, Facebook does not charge any final value fees, which means that the margins are a lot more attractive on Facebook compared to Amazon or eBay. That being said, dropshipping exists in many forms and always evolves, and in some way, shape or form is always going to be around, and some people will keep making a killing from it. That's what I strongly believe in, and I believe that is the fact as well. Also, I feel like I'm entitled to an opinion, as I've been dropshipping for 3 years. I dropship full time, and at this moment, it's still where a big portion of my income comes from every month. But let's cut to the chase. I'm gonna give you 5 reasons why dropshipping is a terrible business model compared to some of more traditional and more conventional businesses that you could run. Especially if you're considering to start, you can take everything I say into account before you make your final move. Now, why dropshipping sucks? Number 1, it is not so much a business, but rather a job disguised as one. Unlike building an actual private label brand, the longer you market a product or make better ads, it doesn't actually add any value to your company. You're constantly marketing random products to which you have no ownership. And aside from the Google and Facebook pixel data that you collect along the way, there is not much else that you gain aside from the actual profit that you make off of these sales. This makes it very similar to working a job, with the exception of being able to kind of scale your salary. I personally know a lot of sales jobs that have no cap on commissions, and I know people that do really well just working for a company. If you take, for example, Joe Rogan's podcast, every episode becomes an asset in his company, in his brand. You're growing your brand, you're growing your audience, and your business value compounds over time. The main takeaway is the value of your company does not compound, does not grow when your sales do. That's a big disadvantage, and brings me to point number 2, which is there is no exit. If you dropship on Amazon or eBay, don't even get me started. You have a user account and that's it. It's not a real business. And if you dropship on Shopify, in 99.9% of cases, you won't be able to sell your dropshipping store for a multiple of your yearly sales. That's simply the fact. And I know with if you have your own store, there are some exceptions and some people exited and some people made brands from it. But if you look at the global scale of dropshippers and how many people try to do this and how many people set up general stores and all these things, the chances of you making a decent size exit are minuscule. The main reason for this is, unlike a more conventional business, most dropshipping companies have no real assets and no recurring customer base. The most valuable things good dropshippers have are customer lists, email databases, Google and Pixel data, and obviously know-how. Now, if you have your own brand and that's what you're dropshipping, and you have enough resources to do that, congratulations and all power to you. But you're in the 1% of dropshippers. The general consensus does not care about private label, and pretty much everybody's just dropshipping stuff from China. Number 3 is there is no barrier to entry. This means it's very saturated. Everyone and their mom has a dropshipping store. Everyone is an expert on this topic. There is a ton of scams and misconceptions, and in the end, nobody really thinks of this as a serious business opportunity. This sucks, especially if you're doing well with dropshipping, because it's as if you kind of had to feel bad about what you're doing. I know I personally struggle with this a lot. Number 4, you kind of always have to keep things secret. You're always worried about what you tell others, especially if it's another dropshipper. You always try to protect your winning products, whether it's on Amazon, eBay, or Shopify. The same with suppliers and all this stuff. And I know you might say, well, this is kind of in any business, and well, yes and no. The truth is, if I find a great product to sell on eBay or Amazon, I kind of need to keep it to myself, because otherwise the competition is going to get rid of my margins and quite possibly also take over the supplier as well. And lastly, but not least, number 5, the 5th reason why dropshipping sucks is because of the 4 reasons I've just mentioned. It's simply overhyped. everyone is trying to do it, you have to grind by yourself, and all along, you're not actually building a company that you could sell one day. And now if it's that bad, I know you might be wondering, why am I still doing it? And the short answer is, it's easy money. Especially with my knowledge and insight, I can set up an account anywhere in the world. All I need is pretty much just login credentials and I can start generating income from day one. And that's super powerful. Also, even though it's not quite a real business, it teaches you a lot more than a job would. It teaches you a variety of valuable skills, and if you single-handedly become successful in dropshipping, there's a big chance that you can manage Facebook ads for other companies and other people, optimize websites for conversions, optimize titles and descriptions for eBay or Amazon, and it teaches you a shit ton about customer service. If you scale your Facebook ads to $500,000 in 3 months, you've just learned more about Facebook ads than most experts in your area. And this by itself is a good enough skill to set you up with the retainer fees from 3 or 4 clients and give you more income that you would have gotten if you just worked a 9 to 5. Once you pick up all the processes and all the necessary skills, you can make money hand over fist rather quickly. You don't really have to put in a lot of effort, but remember the downsides that I mentioned before. Also, I love dropshipping for the same reasons I hate it. The fact that there is no barrier to entry is as much a blessing as it is a curse. In my previous video, I explained why dropshippers oftentimes move to different businesses, like building their personal brands or selling courses. Because unlike dropshipping, if you sell courses, you have a personal connection with your customers. These customers have higher dollar value and they're most likely going to become a repetitive customers as well. Or at least the likelihood is a lot higher compared with the customers of your dropshipping store. Also, this is not a preface to me selling a course. I'm just trying to give you an insight of somebody who does this on a daily basis and sees behind the curtain. As now that you know the shortcomings of dropshipping, you see how online teaching kind of adds the missing pieces to the puzzle and allows online entrepreneurs to kind of build a valuable brand and an actual business. So to conclude this video, if you're not short on budget, I would probably look for a different business to run. If you have a budget to work with, probably pour your energy and heart into something that compounds over time and adds on value as the longer you work on it. If you are short on money and you think you would enjoy doing this every day, by all means, there's nothing I can say to stop you. As for myself, I'll be working towards relying on my dropshipping income less and less in the future, at the same time as I'll be working on growing it as well. I hope that makes sense. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below.